type them?
We can
You
both
don't type
type
them?
them.
Okay.
That way, listen, we both. Why don't we alternate? I'll type one, then you type one. That way, we don't fall behind.
Sure.
Okay, like people are gonna be like spouting them left and right.
Well, I hope so.
It's just,
Look how much NE we got in the room.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how that works. Oh man.
if you think of something, just spit it out there before you lose it, like we were talking about. You know.
We can't because people's voices will like
Type
muddle
it
up
in
the sound.
Type
Okay,
in the
true.
chat real quick.
Okay.
What are people's voices going to do?
They're
You're
gonna
going
like
to
fade
drown.
in and out. Like when two people talk at the same time, it does what it just did.
I see. Well,
Like someone might be like, my question is, I am calm, and then I'll say, happy or sad, and then it'll merge together into, are you calm or happy? It'll make no sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
You're
Okay.
calm or happy.
number one, are you more likely? Are you
I
more
thought he was actually
likely?
gonna type it.
I'm gonna put it on. I know what I'll do. I'll do this. Pout and pout.
Well, I was about to type your answer, your question, because you were saying it, so I was gonna type it.
Oh, okay. Well, we can both type it. That way, if I mess up,
Hey, go for it.
are you more likely?
Oh,
Are you more likely
This is
to
so disorganized.
interrupt people or be interrupted?
Are you more likely to what?
That's
interrupt-
FI versus TI.
Interrupt people or be interrupted. Fine. Listen, we can
No, that's
figure out what to do with the questions after we put them all down there. I can make a note of that if you want. I think it's
Yeah.
extrovert introvert. That's why I put it there.
I think it's extra.
No. Because TI DOMs, they have a thought in their head and they just want to say it. They're just gonna interrupt someone. Like I do that. I interrupt people sometimes. Like
Okay.
TI DOM.
And the thing is, we could also.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Interrupt you, Eric.
Because like Zach doesn't do that all the time. Like that's something
yeah, Zach
really
is-
subjective.
Remember, the test doesn't have to be very accurate. Okay, it doesn't really have to be accurate.
Eric,
Oh, okay, that's right. This is a game.
We're just gonna put all these questions down and then we'll narrow it down.
Okay.
Eric, real quick, when you were coming up with this, did you come up with needing about 29 videos?
I came up with 32.
32 videos, right?
32.
32.
No, 33.
Yeah.
You got the intro, then 8, then 16. 33 videos.
So,
Yeah, but for the core functionality of it.
32, I think. Wasn't it?
Oh, there's 16. There's 2 rounds. There's 2 rounds, 8 and 8. 2
Yo,
rounds, so 16.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm not including all the redundancy you were talking about. I was just talking about the core. I was thinking maybe we should keep it as minimal as possible at first because we're not going to make a shitload of videos.
This is a project that'll be it'll take a year and then we'll finally finish it.
Oh my god.
I feel like we should make a quicker, worse one, and if it's popular enough to this idea to be popular without being a perfect project, then we can make a better one over here.
What is
That's
question?
such a bad idea, though.
What is question 2 related to?
I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll figure that out later.
No!
Do you like Cheez-Its or Ahoy? Like you
No,
you can't ask.
If the question's interesting, it'll relate to it somehow. We'll twist it around and make it work.
I don't think so. That's not how that works.
Just keep going. I like your style. Your style. Let me think more.
What?
Oh my god. Unify. Oh my god. Unify, what function would that be?
Oh my god!
Out. Get aroused by a picture of your 16.
Yeah, what function would that be, Unify? Fi.
I don't think your sexuality has anything to do with your functions.
Me neither.
No, actually, socionics, they say it does.
Really?
I
So
know.
what are asexuals?
Well, okay, it's not like gay, like, you know, it's about like how dating
How you pick your
whoever you
partner.
want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
it's
talking
how
about
you
like
pick
sexual orientation, but I see what you're talking about. Okay, that makes sense.
For example, SE users are more likely to want to take a more aggressive approach. They don't, whereas NI users want someone to
The
approach
victim.
them.
Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
about that earlier. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you talk
Okay.
casino stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, I don't know. I sometimes believe to a certain extent that sexual orientation, at least in the way that we typically view it, isn't even real.
What do you mean? Real.
I agree with you.
I think
Please
there's
expand.
there's other things that we really are looking for, and we're over categorizing them into genders a lot of the time when they don't
can
necessarily need to be.
Yeah,
I
that
think
sounds.
there's a lot of people that are convinced they're completely straight that would have plenty of fun with someone of the same gender in certain circumstances under certain categories, but they're never even going to try it.
I agree
And
with
vice
you.
versa.
How do you
I think the
describe,
same
like,
for gay people. I think people that are strictly gay, I think a lot of them probably aren't being open-minded enough about their sexuality.
but I mean, like, how do you describe that from, like, an evolutionary point of view, where, like, males and females, like, have, in general, been...
Well, taking that approach is saying that sex is purely evolutionary and the only purpose of it is reproductive. So if you're saying we should only ever have sex to make babies, then sure. But if you're saying that sex is more than that, then point invalid.
I guess I do think sex is, like, the purpose of sex is to reproduce, you know?
That's the evolutionary purpose, but I feel like the human race has come to bring more to it. Not
Yeah,
just
well,
the human race. There are other animals that have fun with sex. Not many. Dolphins, I think maybe the only other ones. But still,
anyways, yeah, this is diverting from,
but it's fun.
From our very important original topic. Yeah, while we.
Distracting me from what I'm writing down. How dare
Yeah,
you.
you're distracting me from whatever Eric's typing. From this bullshit he's spewing. What does he say? What is this? People can't even, like, focus long enough.
To see a homeless person yelling at an elderly woman and saw that she was soon to get away from him by boarding a train and knew you could get there in time to prevent a minute or two of his harassment, but maybe not. Would you still go over there? Would you
I don't even know.
I just think most people would not give a shit.
further harassment?
I really. That's exactly why. Like, there's no way you can process all of this stuff.
Yeah, well, this is clearly a joke. This one's clearly not serious.
What do you mean? What's not serious about it? I'm curious.
You realize how, yeah,
this
no,
question before you finished reading it in the video, that says something about it.
What?
If you're not finishing this question just to get a laugh,
I'm
that
not.
says something. I'm not sure what it says, but it says something.
Now here's a failure I'm guilty of right now, which is if I were to ask this question in an interview, it would be extremely revelatory to me. But we don't get to do that in these videos. We don't get to say, "Oh, I see how you answered that. I'm going to direct you here." It has to be A or B, right? So we have to determine what A means. If you answered yes, what does that mean? And if you answered no, what does that mean?
Yeah, but you're taking the types of questions that don't have 1, 2, 3 answers. They have
Maybe
a
that's
lot
a red
of
herring
answers.
one then. Maybe that's a red herring one.
That's what I'm saying. If it's not a red herring, it's a problem for me.
Oh,
The
see,
question that's
okay. All right, hey, I thought you meant if you're not just putting this here to make us laugh right now.
No, I meant
Okay,
in the end product. In the end product.
Cool. Yes.
If the person viewing the end product doesn't either get a laugh from this or stop paying attention halfway through this particular question, that says something about them.
honestly, most people in Myers-Briggs are fucking obsessed, so, like, anything related to it, they like, you know, especially tests.
Yeah.
Also, write my question down.
Okay, what is
Derek,
it?
when you get the chance. It's in the chat.
Okay, well, I'll have you read it to me in a sec. All right.
Basement the good, actual good questions. The relevant questions.
Yeah.
HP is the worst too. All right. So what's your question, BO?
That's a good question. I like
My
that.
question is, do you care about success, knowledge, or happiness?
Let's do a prioritize though, so you have two choices. It's better. Do you prioritize?
No, I like three. I like three because it throws the third function in there.
Okay, so you ask him to choose one of the three, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not the way. That's not what your question said, though.
That's
If you could only prioritize one,
Yeah.
would you prioritize? What are your three things again?
Success, knowledge, or happiness?
That's a good question. I like it.
I think success would probably have someone with SE. Knowledge would have someone with more thinking, and happiness would probably be a red herring type thing. It would kind of depend. Maybe a perceiver. I don't know.
I feel like success could be T. Would probably
Yep.
be T.
That's what I was thinking, JC.
Success would be TE. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it
That's a
could
good
also
point.
be.
The thing is that here's the problem. The thing is that, like for example, INTPs, they value like TE more than say an INFJ. You know, so an INTP might care more about success, but like that's the problem with some of these questions is that having a function in your stack does not necessarily mean, or not having a function in your stack does not necessarily mean that you don't care about it.
That's why there has
Technically,
sets of questions to determine where in the function stack it is after we determine if it's in your stack or your shadow stack.
Yeah, so it's like if you care about success, you're probably some form of thinking.
Well, some questions will go into determining either or, and some questions will be after we've determined, you know, we'll have specific questions. If we already know you have this quality, where is it?
Yeah.
I'm on Eric's level now. I don't want to do all the
You're on
parts that
board.
he says are easy. I want to do the parts that he says are hard. That's what's interesting to me.
That's
That's what I'm doing.
we're all for that.
He just opened up a whole new world of interesting to me. And I was complaining, and I was being an asshole. I'm sorry, Eric.
Hey Tiffany,
need someone who's
I love when people assert things at me strongly because then I can assert right back. No, you're wrong. My favorite sentence.
I know, but I'm not even upset about it. I'm happy because now I'm
Me
fiddling
too.
with this. On this.
We're having a happiness FE dance. It's great. All right, look. Would you prefer an
Well, I
evening
don't know
with
if we did FE. We're doing FE now, but we
Right.
didn't do FE together.
No, we didn't. Would you prefer an evening with a medium-sized group in which you all enjoy sensual pleasures, massage, wine, gourmet food, etc.? I normally wouldn't put wine, but since it's not the question, it's for other people. Or an evening with a medium group in which you receive an award and are celebrated for a success. This would be, I think, FI-FE, right? I think FI is the first one.
oh.
FE is the second.
I was thinking SE was the first one.
Well,
I
you're
don't
talking
think-
about sensual pleasures. You're talking about sensual
Wait.
pleasures here, like mixing up functions.
Because I would do
Medium-sized-
neither of those.
Right, but that's the
Function.
point, Basement Overlord. I wanted to say sensual because people are going to think it's a sense thing, a sensory thing. My point is, FE is expressed through social achievement and stuff like that. You wouldn't think, oh, they're celebrating me. I'm receiving an award. I'm being celebrated for my success. That's not an FE thing. That's not me worrying about other people's emotions. Yeah, it is. It's exactly what it is. That's why it's a good question.
Like, how often do you get together with a medium-sized group and celebrate you getting an award? When most people think of getting an award, they think of a giant.
You mean
almost like
besides
auditorium.
Thursdays?
I mean,
I said
He means
besides
he thinks-
Thursdays? Okay, then fine. We'll have a super, 100-year-old wine. So this is special too, okay?
Oh my god.
Or you can have the
It doesn't
100-year-old
help
food.
anything.
You can have the 100-year-old food if you want. All right, next question. You guys, what a nitpicky bunch we all are, huh?
Yeah, you know what? You're right. We're being too
Oh, for
nitpicky.
crying out loud.
We need more questions, less nitpicking.
All right, we're going to more
We
questions.
need more nonsensical questions.
Okay. How many large animals in your kitchen?
That's great.
I think that's AA, right?
It actually is, though.
Yo, we have to ask them which animal. What was the first animal you thought of when you thought of a large animal?
Elephant.
Yeah, if you thought
I was thinking of a horse, though, when I said the word. I said, like,
I was thinking of a bull. I was thinking of like a bull, like a giant, like a bull.
Jethro, unless you have an underwater kitchen, you shouldn't be dragging any whales into your kitchen. All right, let's go to the next question.
If the first animal you thought of was an elephant, click here. The first
Like,
On
we
this-
run experiments on them. Like we make them say their answer in the comment section. We like gather data. Ask them if they pictured an elephant. Did they instantly think of a pun? Elephant in the room.
Oh, that was good, but no, I didn't.
Meditation engages S. So this question is.
There. Now is a good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
Here we go. Last question
Well, I
for
would
this,
say I
this
would add.
page.
Well, okay, look on that arrow. In the arrow under 9, I'd add the other option of, or did it not make sense for a whale to be in the kitchen? Is it because you don't like the ocean, or because you didn't want the whale to get too dry, or because it didn't make sense for a whale to be in the kitchen?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Let's ask it this way then.
That'd be more of an ST type thing.
It could be like intuition versus sensing. So, like, intuitors would be more likely to, like, choose. Like, if they would rather have an animal in the kitchen, and then sensors, I guess, would be more like, that's bullshit.
Well, I'd
don't
say
know.
I'd say the sensor would be more likely to be like a whale in the kitchen. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know, whereas the intuitive would just ignore that notion. They'd be like, all right, let's go with it.
Too much. Not too much.
Since it is more true for you. I hate the ocean.
Which sentence is more true to you? To you, right?
This question's stupid.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people would choose the last one.
Right, but that's
Choose the second
Yeah,
one.
you could be stupid and like you have another.
that's
just say, like, it doesn't
revelatory
make
too. That's revelatory too. If they say this question is stupid, they choose that one. I wouldn't choose that. If this question were asked, how many large animals can you fit in your question? If only part would it stress you out to have them there and you had only 2? If you picked an elephant in the previous question, why didn't you picture a whale? Is it because which one is it? Or which one of these possible options is it? Right? Is it because? Which of these is it because? I like wrong constructions. Which of these is it because? It's a very childlike.
It's because-
It's a very childlike sentence construction, you know.
The only ones is 'cause you start using the words like in time object, I'm done. Like I can't deal with it.
Hey, that's no fancy words there.
Yeah. True. Time vectors, We cannot be using it as vector.
Zach uses vectors a lot.
It's a good word to use.
What the fuck do you mean?
I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it.
I'm like, there's an easier way to say that. Use that method. Use that way of saying it instead of saying vectors.
I prefer Trumpian style of language. He's an ESTP. I prefer his language where it's just like, we need to build a wall. He doesn't say like, we need to get a vector to span across the territory. Like, it's whatever.
Hey, Eric. I know you don't like thinking really, really long.
Yes, that's a good question.
But,
Oh my god.
the mistake fucking alternative that you should feel stupid about.
Yes.
basically, the way I understand the model that you were talking about previously, we were essentially, at its core, going to be using FI versus FE pretty much exclusively to type someone.
No.
Well, we've changed it a bit. We're gonna do like, for example, FI, FE, and then like SE or something, or FI, FE.
Well, I know you're adding the third one in, but at its core, the main point of it was you were going to be using those two determinations. And
no, it was in the first two videos are designed to figure out FE or FI. The second two videos are designed to figure out TE or TI. The third two are designed to figure out NE or NI. And the last
we're not doing 3 fucking rounds, bro. That is way too many.
No, it's not 3 rounds. That's the first 8 videos.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's the first 8, and then the next 8 are just basically a duplicate of that, and you get a score from the first 8. You get a score from the second 8. You hope those two scores line up, right? You could choose to do half of. You could choose to do half of them in the first 8 and half of them in the second 8. So you can say, let's figure out your F and T first in the first 8 videos. Let's figure out your N and S in the second 8 videos if you wanted to. But I was saying, ideally, you do the second one to test the whole thing and hope they come out the same.
I much prefer typing for first and 7th function.
Okay, well that's fine. That's why I said it's in chunks of 2. In the first one, you figure out which is conscious, FE or FI. In the second question, the second video is designed to determine the unconscious one where it falls.
I still think that we should do, because here's the thing. Anyone who has thinking in their type is gonna have some similarities with the thinking that's unconscious. So we need to get the extremes of the best function and the worst function. Because, for example, ISTPs, sensing and intuition are second and third, so they're almost like balanced. Whereas in ENTPs, thinking and feeling is almost like balanced, so it's hard to figure it out. So we need to find dominant for ENTPs is NE, 7th is FI, and so for an ENTP, you are aware of the fact that your FI is, bad.
All right, then let's do it reverse. Let's do a process of elimination. You start with a video knowing that they have all the functions, okay? And then you say, okay, if you answered this, now we can eliminate this possibility. So we give...
Oh, yeah, so like instead of saying which do you prefer, we say which do you not like. Because it's easier for people to say what they don't like, I feel like.
Right, so I'd say that way the videos don't actually have to be even linked to each other. You do the first one, you say write down your score from video 1, now go to the second video. Write down your score from video 2. And then you could do it like that, and then at the end of the second video have now choose this one, or this one, right? So that allows you to reduce the branching a bit.
So the first, okay, so in this case, what would the first and second video be, and what would they direct to?
What I mean by that is this: if we want to figure out in the first video whether the person's FE or FI, and in the second video, we want to try to figure out what's in their 7th slot, whether it's regardless of whether it has anything to do with F or not, right? So then, or let's say we wanted to figure out in the first video whether they're extroverted or introverted. I think that might be an easy way to make the math smaller, right? Because extroverted and introverted is fairly easy to figure out. Most people have a clear sense of whether they are or not. There's only a couple of introverted types that kind of mistype as extroverted sometimes. If we add that in the first video, then now you got them. You put them on either the introvert line or the extrovert line, right? That cuts everything in half.
Yeah, but what if what if the first video, introvert, extrovert, they type as introvert and they're actually extrovert, and you've just put them on this entire line of introvert functions where they're actually an extrovert, and so
entertainment. What's the purpose of it? Is entertainment, all right?
True.
We got it, and therefore it has to be manageable in scope.
I'm gonna write this down here. Let me make like a document.
All right, so like, right, yeah, documents are good. Documents are fun. All right.
do you find documents fun? You're a thinker.
Some kind of documents, some kind, right?
Or just any documents. Man, Walrus Titty with the just great question. Why is Walrus Titty not writing these down?
That is a good question. Does documents arouse you?
Alright. Fuck. 1:40 a.m.
Me too.
Yeah. Worth for the betterment of the community.
Oh, there's a question I heard this guy come up with. We probably can't use it, but it was, which would you rather have as a pet, a unicorn or a dragon? And
I like that
generally, intuitives will intuitives will answer. They'll actually consider the question. Like, I considered the question. I was like, well, which one would I actually rather have? And since
I just thought dragon. Yeah.
Why would you see? The thing is, why?
Because dragons are fucking badass. I mean, it's from like a sensory, I guess, perspective where it's like dragons are fucking cool shit. So it's a what question you said?
It might be a question.
What
did you say,
kind of
JC?
question? You keep cutting out.
Which would you rather have, a dragon or a unicorn as a pet?
Yeah,
That's
I think
intuitive or sensing.
I feel like it might be more of a feeling versus thinking.
No, I think it's intuitive sensing also.
Well, I hear both. I hear the sensing versus intuitive, where it's like the sensor is just like, well, unicorns look cool, so
yeah. From a more sensing perspective.
I think a girl sensor would pick unicorn.
What'd you say?
I said I think a girl sensor would choose a unicorn and a guy sensor chooses a dragon. I would choose a unicorn as an intuitive.
It's hard to get how they got to unicorn or dragon if you just ask them which.
You would ask them why.
Right.
Like, that's the whole thing. You have to ask why.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You can't be like,
unicorns
and thinkers are dragons.
I would say in response to that, I would assume the unicorn behaves like a horse, more or less, and I have no idea how the dragon's going to behave.
No, sorry, it wasn't a unicorn, it was a Pegasus.
Same answer. Same exact answer. It makes no difference. Same answer.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like my instinct is I'll just go for the dragon first, and then if I think about it for a while, it's well, yeah, I guess it would make more sense to have a Pegasus because I could just keep them in like a stable or something.
Yeah. It also depends on the type of dragon, though, because like there's a whole bunch of different species of dragons, a whole bunch of different races of dragons.
Yeah, it's like intuitives can just think about this for like 5 hours straight, and the sensors.
I really would though.
Yeah, like the
I'd be so happy.
Do you get access to the dragon's hoard of gold? Is the question, right?
Yeah.
You could take it to the dungeon. You could play with it. What color would the dragon be?
Well, I'm picturing something somewhere between brown and red, sort of a brickish color.
Yeah, I thought reddish.
Yeah. Clay.
I was thinking of the blue dragon.
Oh shit. ENTP consciousness.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, what is this with triangles and consciousness?
Well, actually, in socionics, the triangles are like the intuition, right? That's
Yeah.
their like symbol for intuition.
Yeah.
So there you
I don't
go.
like, they arbitrarily choose shapes.
Yeah, that one shape for whatever that one was. I'm like, what? It is really random. Yeah, it's like a block letter L.
Yeah, like
Like,
that's.
what does this
that's
mean?
Like, that's feeling.
It's
Yeah.
feeling.
Oh, okay, that makes sense because it's so random and
I
illogical.
know. I like
Feeling
TISE,
random.
just a square and a circle. Pretty straightforward.
Is the square the TI?
Yeah, the white square is TI, the black circle is SE. I like them.
Yeah, extroverted sensing.
Pretty cool shape.
Extroverted things are filled in. Introverted things are blank. It's
Yeah.
really confusing. I mean, I suppose it's not, but when you first learn about it, it's like, what's the point of this? When you could just write NIRSE.
Yeah, we just have it.
Instead of
We should have a question where we ask them, out of these three shapes, which shape is your favorite? And then
Which
that,
shape do you identify with the most?
Yeah. Identify with a block that looks like an L.
And why?
Yeah. Is it because you look like that? Like.
It's because it's empty, like my soul.
Yeah. Is it because you have no feelings and you sociopath?
Okay, so look, as we're trying to figure out a way to get to where we need to go with the actual test progression, I think a simple way is to go E or I first, and then F or T as a second video. So then at the end of the second video, you got two choices. You're either going to go to a video that tries to distinguish whether you are EF or ET. No, wait, we have F or T here though. So, right. So for number 2, it's designed to figure out whether you have F in front of T or T in front of F. And then once
I have an idea.
Once you've done that, we try to figure out whether you are, if you're extroverted. In other words, there's a video that says, that doesn't make sense what I just did. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, I have an idea.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so my idea is you have a video that has 3 functions. You determine if they value feeling, thinking, or sensing. And if they don't value any of them, you know that they value that one of those 3 is probably their 7th slot. So like if someone values thinking the most out of thinking, feeling, and sensing, you probably know they're an ISTP, INTP, ESTJ, or ENTJ. Because the thinking's dominant, so it's just...
I like the idea of leaving intuition out of that mix. Because I think you can deduce it by how much they stay away from S.
Yeah, and you also, like, if they've gotten through the video and they've thought about it and they've realized, well, I don't relate to any of these, it's probably more likely to be intuitive, you know? Whereas for me, if you put me up against feeling, thinking, and sensing, I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, thinking. Like, obviously. It's so obvious that I value thinking, you know? Move on.
I'd probably be kind of stuck between S and F.
What was your type again?
ESFP.
You said you'd be stuck between what?
Sensing and feeling.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know, because, yeah...
I don't know if I have a very, very clear preference for F.
Huh.
I mean, for S, for sensing. I don't know if I have a very, very, very clear preference for sensing.
Well, then we'd figure out through your seventh function. So we get to finding your 7th function. It's like, okay, is your 7th function a thinking function, or is your seventh function an intuition function? That's how
Correct.
we
Look, I think
figure it out.
you should do 4 videos like this, right? And you go, okay, after the first video, do you value T, S, or F? Second video, do you value N, F, or T? Third video, do you value F, N, or S? Like, if you do pairwise comparison, it's called.
Yeah,
Except that normally is
because
with 2, right?
Question, guy.
You could do 2.
Which
You do straight up pairwise comparison, you could do 2. 2 of each. So you go, if you do straight up pairwise comparison, which is mathematically the most sound way to do it, then you end up like with something like, do you value TI or I would say don't do the other T, right? You say, do you value TI or do you value FE? TI over or FI? TI or SE? TI or SI? TI or NI? TI or NE? If you do all those pairwise comparisons like that, all the permutations, that's the most mathematically sound. But with eight functions, all the permutations, even if you exclude that one, equal, I think 64, possibly. I don't know. I'm not good with that stuff.
I think we should throw in. So like we find their top 2 functions. So like if you're an ENTP or an INTP, you're gonna have a clear valuing of thinking and feeling, or thinking and intuition, and then you just throw in as like a last resort. Okay, do you think you're an introvert or an extrovert?
real quick, since you guys are creating these questions and you're good at that, which shadow function, like which level, if FE is a shadow function, which one's the easiest one to determine? Like if you
7.
get certain results, which one can you know most certainly?
7.
7 for FE? Is that also for FI?
For everyone.
So if you're an
Every type 7's the
ENTP,
easiest?
if you're an ENTP, your 7th function is FI, and that'll be obvious for ENTPs because their FI is almost non-existent.
Is that going to be obvious for every type?
Everyone's going to be
INTPs, they have an
antagonistic. Everyone's going to be openly
Towards their
antagonistic towards their 7th function if it's expressed in certain fashions. So if it
7th function, antagonistic. Okay.
And not antagonistic, it's like aggressive, because INTPs aren't going to be like aggressive. It's just like they avoid it in their life.
like for
Right,
example,
that's a better way to describe it.
They've
Yeah, I
experienced it in
avoided
their
it in my
life.
life.
Yeah, they've experienced it in their life, and they're like, you know what? This shit in my life, I do not want to fucking deal with it.
it has
Well,
to
like-
be. You could think of prioritization questions to determine that 7th function. Like what makes you angriest?
Like, what do you just hate so much? Yeah.
And so if you have if you have it in the 7th, then what's going to make you angriest is when it interferes with either your SE or when it interferes with your NE, in my opinion. So you structure a situation where you go like, what makes you angry? And one of the possibilities is you've determined there's a number of possible avenues that need to be explored here so you can figure out the right course of action on a given situation. But Mary's really committed to the idea that she presented, and everyone says, why don't we let her have this one? It's a good idea that we worry about her feelings here. Does that make you super mad or not? That would make me fucking furious. Mary can fucking suck my dick. I've got a lot of better ideas than Mary's stupid fucking idea.
Yeah.
You know? That's how I would react to that.
Depends what
I
situation.
would kind of do that too.
If I don't care about it, I'll let her be happy.
Well, but I've already established at the beginning that I've got lots of good ideas here that are going to be better than Mary's idea, and it's a group thing that involves outcomes. So, I mean,
You care about the group.
who cares? Who cares, Tiffany? The point is, I'm right and Mary's wrong.
Yeah.
No, I know, but you see, I'll be right and Mary's wrong. I'm like you, and I'm an ENTP. Under most circumstances, I would react the way you're describing. But if I don't care about the group, I might want to watch them crash and burn.
Okay, well, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's very feasible.
That's what I was trying to get across.
But you know what? In my opinion, though, I think most ENTPs, unless they're forced to be with that group, are going to wander off.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna want to say their point of view because they're like, I'm right. I want you guys to give me recognition for me being fucking correct. They have
It's
that FE where they're like, I want fucking recognition, bitch.
It depends if the group is you're opposed to it because it's boring or you're opposed to it because it's wrong. If you're opposed to it because it's wrong, then I'm not going to watch a crash or burn. I'm not going to care about Mary's feelings, and I'm also not really going to care about making good arguments. I'm just going to care about shaming the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
But if they're boring, then I'm not going to bother wasting my time with it because if they're soft, I don't roll up on soft people. You
Yeah,
can
I
tell when they're
can't stand them in
soft.
group.
If people are soft, they just
Well,
ignore it because there's no point in rolling up on them, and there's no point in busting their chops because they're soft.
yeah,
I
well,
would never go into a group of ISFPs and start yelling at people.
well, if I was forced into a group with them where I wanted results, it would just be a fucking living hell. Just every time I want to do something, it's like having to deal with all the crap,
But if you were in charge, you'd have no problem at all. They're very compliant, as long as they understand
Yeah,
that's part of the rules.
yeah. Well, if you're in charge, it's fucking great. If they have the impression that we're all a team and we all get a vote, that's fucking hard to deal with because my vote is equal to one of their votes and they're, wrong.
That's interesting. Like ISFPs don't bug me as much as they bug you. Because I think their wrongness is
Well,
harmless because they don't.
I wasn't thinking look, I wasn't thinking of ISFPs when I was saying that. I was just thinking of situations where I'm in a group of just people who are just incompetent and I have to deal with them. I wasn't thinking of ISFPs in general.
For me, the incompetence has very little to do with it. It's an audacity thing. If somebody has the audacity to be bossy, right? Then I
I don't
want to.
mind that if they're right. If they're bossing, they're right. I'm like, hey, finally, someone has the balls to take charge. If they're
I
ballsing,
don't
they're
like that.
wrong. I'm just like, you're just fucking stupid, and you don't even realize it.
It doesn't matter if they
Like,
have the balls to take charge. They're already wrong because they've attempted to take charge of me.
except,
That
like, why does that matter? If they're taking charge of the group, say it's like a group project, and they're taking charge, and what they're saying I agree with, I'm just like, yeah, please keep doing that so I don't have to do anything. I agree with what you're saying.
Well, I guess the problem with them taking charge of me is, even if I agree with what they're saying, it sets a bad precedent. Just because you're right this time doesn't mean you should be barking orders. You're probably
Yeah.
going to be wrong 95% of the time. So let's get this straight off the bat right now. You're too big for your britches. I'm going to fucking cut them down to size. Just to make sure that everyone's egalitarian about shit. There's no.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Even if I am the boss, I still insist it should be egalitarian. That if they're right, that they get to school me. Which they do. And it's happened plenty of times. I throw myself on fucking schooling sword all the time in class. I'm always yelling at kids and then realizing it's something I did that I forgot about. And I was like, why haven't you had? Because I told you to invite me to the Dropbox folder and you haven't done it for fucking 2 weeks. Oh, right. My bad. I guess it is
Yeah,
my
that
fault.
sounds like FI in the seventh. Because like for me, my FI is a little
Really
bit.
believe anyone really tried hard enough if it was homework, though? I mean, unless they wanted to be in the class.
No, yeah, we don't have homework. I assign no homework.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like in a normal, in a regular like class type situation, like
I wouldn't care.
just all I heard was the way I would manipulate my teachers there.
Well, see, in a regular class situation, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't matter. The work's not real. It doesn't
I
make
know.
any difference.
I just heard something and it reminded me of
And
school.
also, in my class situation, I still don't really care. If they haven't done anything, that's fine. But if they're when I yell at them, it's because they're asking me to do something. Wait, slow down, hold on. I can't find that file. Look in the fucking Dropbox folder. Ah! After I do that
Yeah,
big yell.
that sounds like FI in the seventh sloth. Because me, I'd be a bit more compliant towards as an introvert and as someone with FI a bit higher up, I'd be a bit more compliant with what they're saying.
Right. Well,
Whereas you don't have any tolerance with them getting in the way of what you're saying.
Right.
I personally,
Go ahead.
sorry, were we talking about the question that Unify posed?
Sure, go ahead.
I don't like. I feel like you could be open-minded and still care about like other people's values, or I don't know. I don't think they're distinctly separate at all.
Be open-minded and care about people's values.
You can value open-mindedness in a person, but you can also equally value someone who has strong values.
Right.
Yeah, it really depends on how they get there. Because like someone with strong values who just refutes anything else, it's just stupid in my opinion. But someone who has strong values, but they're willing to listen to other people's opinions and consider them, is a bit stronger in my opinion.
Well, the issue is best determined by thinking about examples where they're mutually exclusive, where they conflict, where you have to prioritize one or the other. That's how you break that shit down. Where you're not allowed to say, "Oh, we're gonna find a win-win." You gotta come up with a scenario which one of those values has to lose at the expense for the other one. You know?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it would just be whatever's the best solution. Just go to that.
Yeah, but then that wouldn't solve anything because the solution would vary depending on the context of the problem.
Well, yeah.
So you could choose one or the other. Like you'd still value both, just at different times.
Yeah, I'm not saying like, oh, because in this situation, this is the best solution means that from now on I will always choose this solution. I'm just talking about in the scenario where I have to be given two options, I will choose the one that's the best, and then that doesn't mean from now on I'm going to choose that option for every single part of my life.
Oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. Sorry.
Maybe the next time the situation comes up, I'll choose the other option because in that situation it's better to choose this.
So you're saying basically that you're comparing your action to a anticipated outcome with practical benefits, as opposed to comparing your action to a central model that indicates what one ought to do in general.
It's like say I'm in a situation where it's like I can either give $5 to a homeless person or not give $5. And in this specific event, if I give the homeless person $5, some random person will give me $1 million. It's like, okay, so I'll give $5 to this homeless person. Say the next situation, if I give $5 to this homeless person, he's going to attack me and murder me. So I won't give him $5. You know, so it's not like I'm tied to giving $5 to a homeless person.
But what if you don't know what's going to happen after you give him $5?
Well, you don't know, but I'm just giving this scenario where you do that.
Right, but see,
generally when you give a homeless person money, you don't know what they're going to do to you.
Very rarely are you faced with the scenario that you position. Usually when I give homeless people money, I'm neither going to be killed nor receive $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just a logical, like, evaluation of, okay, what's the probability that this outcome will happen? You know, my analogy of a homeless person killing me is probably not the most realistic scenario, but, like, giving $5 to a homeless person, okay, there's probably a 1% chance he's going to do anything bad to me, and probably a 99% chance he's going to do nothing to me, you know?
But I mean, do you really do that as a TI process, or do you do that as an SE process where you just acted before you really thought it out, even?
Well, it's like if I'm walking past a homeless person, it's like, okay, I am at the crossroads of either giving money to this guy or not giving money to this guy, and then it's just a logical process. Do I want to give the money to this guy? Okay, yes, I do for these reasons. One of the reasons is it'll make me happier because I'm giving to a homeless person or whatever, and I just do it, you know.
Right.
It's an educated guess. You just guess. Okay, is me giving money to this homeless person like better than not giving money to this homeless person?
This is a wonderful example, by the way. Can we, like, is there a possibly, like, different example you can give, maybe? That would, like, be more relevant to what we're talking about?
I don't even, what are we even talking about at this point? Like,
I forgot to.
I was talking about, like, PI.
Like, I completely understand where you're coming from and, like, what you're trying to say. No, I get it.
Yeah. Has this anything to do with what we're talking about? Probably not.
Everything to do with everything. Spaceman Overlords, you're just failing to see the
Yeah.
links. They're tenuous, they're faint, but this is definitely on topic one way or the other. We just haven't figured out how to make it sound like it is.
That's what we need to do.
Jesus,
Right,
man.
that's all there is to life. You just gotta figure out how to make things be what you want them to be rather than the mess you made actually. Right? That basically
Even though in
explains life.
actuality it is a mess.
Right. Your job in life is to figure out how to make your mess look like you intended to do that, and that's a great outcome.
Oh, okay.
That sums up
Yeah, I
all
should
of
definitely
life.
work on that.
That sums up all of life for me, anyway. No, of course I meant
Well,
to do
you're an
that. That's
ENTP,
perfect.
so
Yeah, well, even ENTPs have to scramble around to justify some of their own nonsense. It's not always immediately intuitive. What am I looking for here? That's right. I'm looking for
It
that.
is quite intuitive.
What is this? I have this document. The reason I'm looking in this thing right now is I have this document called Question Compiling, which has some questions. Questions like,
Okay. Yeah. Send that to me. I want to go to sleep because I need to
I
catch
can
up
tell,
on
I know you're a sleepy guy. I can
sleep.
hear it in your sleepy voice. You're a sleepy little guy. All right.
I'm asleep. What can I say? I'm a human. Sometimes I sleep.
Yeah, I know.
sometimes.
The problem is, he's like, I don't.
Occasionally.
Do I have any West Coast peeps here? Are there any West Coast peeps here at all?
Oh, I'm from San Francisco, but just
West Coast,
when
Vancouver.
I
On the
when
West
I
Coast, right?
graduate college, I'm probably gonna come back to San Francisco or something.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good. San Francisco. That you know what that's proof of? Why liberal policies are bad. Where do you have the worst? The reason Basement Overlord said that homeless person example is because he's from San Francisco, the only place in the country where homeless people are actually dangerous.
No, I thought of that example because I think we had a question about a homeless. You were like, if you saw a homeless person fighting
Oh,
like an old person or whatever.
but you're the
Oh,
one.
that's where you got that from.
But you're the
Yeah, I think
one.
that's
You're the
right.
one who insisted on having the homeless person be murderous, right?
Yeah.
Reading. All right, here it is. Um, oh yeah, April. All right, here, question compiling. I'm gonna send it on Facebook to you.
Okay. Tri-type table. What's that?
That's a tri-type table. I'll
Like
send that to
any
you too.
Yo, send that to me.
Okay.
Is it interesting?
Yeah. Well, you know what? You could all do this as well. See if you wanted. The easiest way to get all this shit, rather than me pulling it out of Dreamweaver and all that stuff, is to go talkingwithfamouspeople.com/reading,
Reading.
and then if you go to the April folder. Of course, the April folder is not uploaded. How fun! How fun! That is so fun. And of course, what did I do? Well, sure I did. Sure I closed Dreamweaver because I thought I didn't need it open anymore. Here, I'll send you this here though. Anyway, Patrick. And
Yeah, send me the tri-type table too, and then
all
we'll
right,
look at
fine.
it.
And
Patrick, you don't know your tri-type.
I'll open it up for us to look at here once I send it to Patrick. Hold on. Message Patrick, and we're gonna put that thing Piao. And we're gonna go Piao and Piao and go Piao. All right, there you go, Patrick.
Sweet.
It is
Thanks.
done. Good night. Sleep well.
All right. Good night. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so the tri-type table, for those of you who are curious about what it says there, and then we'll end this video after this, but is nothing on it at all. It's just a blank table. So Patrick's gonna really enjoy that. He's gonna love that table. He's gonna say, "God damn, Eric, that's a great table. You should be a professional table maker." But there is lots of good stuff in here, though. His bestest table ever in progress. Let's see what that is.
Nandi, do you know your Enneagram tri-type?
I think it's 4, 469 or 496.
Oh, those are the same.
Huh?
I said those are pretty much those are pretty much the same.
Probably. Yeah.
So they have the same description.
9 and 6?
No.
Oh, 496 and 469. Okay.
Yeah, they have the same description.
What about yours?
I'm pretty sure I'm a 792.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the peacemaker is what it's called. It's like all of the most positive Enneagrams.
That's good.
They're the 3 happiest from all the sections.
I
Really?
remember for a long time I thought I was a 2.
Yeah, they're considered the most positive, I think, or by some things I've read. Like 7 is the most positive of the head, and 9 is like the most positive, and then 2.
Well, I got 7. That's positive, but I also got 8, and that's not usually considered that positive. But I don't.
Aggressor.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm really that angry that often. But as people think about 8, but I do understand that I'm assertive, and I want to. Are you 8? Do you have an 8 in you as well, Aaron? Oh, Unify, you got 8 and 2. Okay, well, yeah, 8. We're not angry people. We're perceived as angry.
That's weird.
I don't think 8 is supposed to be like, it's like your whole basic fears thing, and 8s don't want to be controlled.
Yeah, I hate
That kind of like
Yeah.
came out when you were talking about earlier too, now that I think about it. That was a very like 8-ish thing to say.
About
Like
what?
I don't want someone trying to tell me what to do
Oh, yeah.
when you were talking earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally don't. I hate that. I hate authority. I fucking hate
Yeah.
authority, period. I don't care what its authority is or how justified someone thinks their authority is. I just want them to go fuck themselves, and I want to laugh at them while they do it.
Yeah, I think that's 8 is like I want to be in control of my own life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to be pushed around, you know? It's like, if you're going to be telling me what to do, it should either be a win-win, we are consensually going for it, or it should be because you're trying to start a fight with me that you're about to lose. That's it. The only 2 reasons to tell me what to do. Unless I ask you to tell me what to do. Okay, if there's certain things I don't know anything about, I'll go and ask, can you help me do this? I don't know what to do. Fine. But, don't presume. That's the thing I really hate, is somebody rolls in and presumes authority based on the fact that they can usually get away with that. Those people are toast.
But I envy their ability to get away with it with other people.
I don't. I see them as devil.
I do too, but it doesn't mean I don't envy that ability.
I don't know. I don't envy because I don't want it. I've had it. I've been a director of the fucking.
Yeah, I
all
haven't
that
been
shit.
able to master it the way you have.
Well, and the thing is, I never did
for me,
master it.
like-
I didn't master it. What I'm saying is, I got plenty of taste of it. I know exactly what it tastes like.
I want to, without having to use it to get there, I want to just be a complete master of it, so that if I decided in a situation it was necessary for me personally, I could use it, but I wouldn't. I would choose not to. I don't know. I'm an evil mastermind that way.
Well,
That sounds like so much work.
we're contradictions. we're contradictions, is what we are. Because on the one hand, we're extremely egalitarian. On the other hand, we're extremely imperious.
Like, I don't think anyone should be all powerful, but I still want to be all powerful and choose not to execute that power.
Sounds legit.
I don't believe that if I was all powerful that I would actually not become corrupted and not choose to use said power. But I still like the idea.
Mm.
You'd like the
Makes sense.
option of becoming powerful, but turn that option down gracefully.
No, I don't think no. I want to take the option and then have the power and not use it. I know I wouldn't be able to, but that's what I want to do.
Oh, okay.
Aaron, so you're
That
an
makes
ENTP. You know what Aaron, as ENTPs, we need to learn to do is a very simple thing. We need to learn to pause, to sit still for a second, and ask some questions that have no purpose first, to settle ourselves into the query mode. Well, can you explain how to fill out this paper? Just some sort of question. Can you explain how I add things with different denominators together? Any kind of fucking question. Anything to get you being the interrogator and then being the responder. And then our challenge is to stay in that space as long as we possibly can, holding back our tigers. Because our tigers want to jump on every little piece of red meat they throw us. And we can see the meatiness of everything they throw us. So we've got to hold the tigers back as long as possible and get them to throw more meat at us first before we let them loose. Then once we let them loose, they're toast. In other words, basically give them more rope to hang themselves with. And that's the best way to do that is to go into interrogative mode. They'll give you more rope than you even know what to do with. We only need a teeny little bit of rope, you know? Give us a teeny little bit of rope, will fuck you up, you know? That's all there is to it. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching Talking to Famous People. I have no idea what the topic is, but I do know it's an hour and 2 minutes long.